Hey guys, it's Lance at Mac Sound Solutions, and boy, have I got a deal for you today. Honestly, this is an amazing deal. iPower Resale sent over a brand new M2 Ultra Mac Studio for me to announce to you guys, to unbox and to test out, which we're going to do in this video, that they're blowing out for an incredible price of just $2,299. And that is a 24-core CPU, a 60-core GPU, 64 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte internal storage, and again, it's an M2 Ultra. And Apple is selling these refurbished at $3,059, so that's a $760 savings you get with buying it brand new from iPower Resale, and they have 50 plus units available to purchase. You can click the link up here to purchase one and use my $25 off discount code, which is also in the video description. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to unbox it, connect my Beelink Home external drive. So I'm going to take it from my Mac Mini, plug it into the M2 Ultra. Then I'm going to migrate my Time Machine backup and also use my external home folder, just to show you guys that follow my channel how easy it is to set up a new Mac when you already have your user account / home folder running on an external SSD. And then we'll take this powerful beast for a test spin. All right, I think I've got everything wired, so let's boot up. This is its first boot. We're in. She's booting. Hello. Now what I'm going to do, as I said earlier, is I'm going to be taking my Mac Mini user account and just using that, so I don't have to go install all my apps and my settings. Most of it should work. So to my surprise, these units are running Sequoia already, so that's interesting, which implies that they were manufactured this year. So I got to ask iPower Resale about this, and hopefully I'll have an answer before the end of the video. Now, as you can see, it wants me to update the OS because I have been running a newer version of Sequoia on my Mac Mini M4 Pro. So we're just going to go ahead and whiz through this update. So I created a user account on the Mac Studio, Lance Ultra, and then the only thing I have to do is migrate my backup of my Mac Mini to the Studio. And so I don't have to migrate my user account, which is on my external drive. All I have to do is migrate my Macintosh HD, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm using Apple's migration tool. My Time Machine backup is on my Ugreen NAS, and I'm just going to go grab the Macintosh HD, and it's basically cloning my entire setup from my Mac Mini onto the Mac Studio. So this is awesome. It's so fast and easy. And then after this is completed, I'm going to plug in my external drive with my user account, my home folder, and bingo, I am up and running just like I am on my Mac Mini. All I have to do is log into my Apple account. Migration complete. And now I've connected my Beelink drive. I'm going to log into my user account and log into my Apple account, and bingo, I'm up and running. And now I'm logged into my external drive, my Mac Mini user account, and you can see that we are on the Mac Studio, Mac OS Sequoia 15.6. So we're updated, we're logged in, and I'm running my user account. And everything that I had set up on my Mac Mini is now totally running on the Mac Studio. And I just launched one of my plugins to see if the authorization worked, and it did. So it's a total clone of my other setup. So it's like I'm using the exact same computer, but I'm not. I've moved from my Mac Mini M4 Pro to the Mac Studio really easily. So just a quick export with video. That's the Mac Pro right there. I have the same Final Cut Pro project open on all three computers. The Mac Pro came in at 11 minutes and 27 seconds. The Mac Studio, which is this one, came in at 4 minutes and 45 seconds. And the Mac Mini came in at 16 minutes. This was a 4K project exporting to H.264. And the Mac Studio crushed it almost twice as fast as real time. So in CINEBENCH, the Mac Studio won on the GPU test. The Mac Mini M4 Pro came in second, and last came in the RX 6900 XT in the 2019 Mac Pro. But CINEBENCH is now more optimized for Apple Silicon than it is the older Intel chips. So take that with a grain of salt. It's just a benchmark, right? It's not real world results, because the RX 6900 XT will blow these guys out when it comes to gaming, and we'll get to that in a second. But when you look at the CPU tests, the Mac Mini with the M4 Pro in the single core wins that test by quite a bit, and then the M2 Ultra is next, and finally the Mac Pro, which comes in a lot lower for single core performance. And the Ultra wins on the multi-core as you would expect, with the Mini coming in second and the Mac Pro coming in last. But interestingly, the Mac Pro wins the MP ratio, which means it's better at running at full load across all its cores without thermal throttling. So looking at the upper left, that's the Mac Studio. It's getting very good read and write speeds on the internal drive. And then if you look at my connected home folder drive, my Beelink enclosure, which is Thunderbolt 5, but it's connected to a Thunderbolt 4 port because the Mac Studio only has Thunderbolt 4, the M2 Ultra that is, and it is getting half of what it normally would be getting if it was connected to a Thunderbolt 5 drive. But what's interesting is it's getting faster random 4K read and write speeds. But it is a 2 terabyte drive over a 1 terabyte. So it's got large cache, etc. So there's some kind of acceleration going on there. It's also much faster in the random 4K above the bottom test than the internal Mac Studio drive. And then what also blows my mind is the Mac Pro on the random write speeds, the very bottom test there on the right, is 232.85. That is crushing everybody else. That's interesting. And then the random 4K read speed is about half of what everybody else is. So it's pretty weird. So the results are kind of all over the map here. So we'll check out gaming with the M2 Ultra, and we're going to use Cyberpunk as our benchmark because that is a native Mac port, and we'll compare it to the Mac Pro running Windows and the Mac Mini. And we're getting 62 frames per second at the native resolution of 1440p, 2K, and no frame generation, no resolution scaling. And that's basically the sweet spot. It's going to be the best looking picture and pretty smooth gameplay. And you could turn on VSync at 60 frames per second to really lock it in. So now I've turned on Metal Effects resolution scaling in quality mode, and that gets us 88.23 frames per second. And what this does is take the image, brings it down to 1080 and upscales it to 1440. And with some mathematical magic, it now gives you a higher frame rate at the cost of visual fidelity. But if you want higher frame rates, you have to go with the Metal Effects. So with Frame Gen on, which skips frames natively and then it adds frames with AI to make up for the missing frames, we're now getting 147 frames per second. So this is about the best you're going to get with this computer if you don't mind using frame generation. And you can drop the Metal Effects setting to performance or balance, and you're going to get even faster frames per second. But your visual quality will go down. And now we'll bring the M2 Ultra to its knees by connecting it to my 4K monitor. And as you can see, the frame rate natively has dropped to 31, which is basically not a playable frame rate. And now we've turned on the resolution scaling with Metal Effects and quality, and we're getting 51.21, which is a playable frame rate. You could lock it in with the VSync and hopefully get around 60 frames per second. And now I've turned on frame generation, which is really metal frame generation. It is not AMD FSR. That's mislabeled in the game here, but you're using metal for frame generation, not AMD's FSR. But we're getting 83 frames per second. So depending on whether you want to use it or not, that's pretty good. So here's the Mac Pro with the RX 6900 XT running in Windows 11, and we're getting 42 frames per second at native resolution. So it's only beating out the Mac Studio by about 10 frames per second at native 4K. But that is a pretty big speed bump. So now we've turned on resolution scaling with AMD Fidelity FX 3.0, and we're in quality mode just like we were on the Ultra, and we're getting 65.75 frames per second. So here's the Mac Pro with resolution scaling turned on in quality mode, and we're getting 65 frames per second. So we're getting about 15 frames per second more than the M2 Ultra. But you got to remember, this is a power sucking machine. You're using a huge GPU that It goes up to like 300 watts of power, and the Mac Pro itself. So compared to the M2 Ultra, using almost no electricity and staying much cooler, and the fans aren't blasting like they do on the Mac Pro, that is pretty darn impressive. And finally, we turned resolution scaling on, and we're getting about 96 frames per second, while the Mac Studio got 83 frames per second. So, not a huge difference here, but the amount of power being used is huge. So the Mac Pro takes the win on frames per second, but not on your electricity bill. And the cost of the Mac Pro with an RX 6900 XT is more than the M2 Ultra, at least for what I paid for them at the time. And just for fun, I'm throwing in the M4 Pro Mac Mini at 4K. It only gets 14 frames per second, totally unplayable at the native resolution. So we'll just jump it up and turn on the frame generation, all the bells and whistles, and we're getting 77 frames per second. So, that's really close to the M2 Ultra's frame per second with generation turned on, with frame gen turned on. But the Mac Mini is panting when it's doing this. The fan is blasting at full tilt and it's sweating, whereas the M2 Ultra barely breaks a sweat because it has much better thermal management. So Shadow of a Tomb Raider at the highest settings, we're getting 61 frames per second with the M2 Ultra, and you can see the GPU bound is 99%, which means the CPU is not bottlenecking the GPU. The GPU is getting maxed out, pushing as hard as it can to squeeze out those 61 frames per second. And again, the Mac Pro comes in a little higher at 4K, same settings, and we're getting 78 frames per second. But while the M2 Ultra is sipping that electricity, the Mac Pro is sucking up the watts. And the Mac Pro is running the Mac version of Shadow of a Tomb Raider, not Windows. Okay, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. I got to run to the city and mix a show. I'm really running late. And the link is in the video description if you want to pick one of these up. And I have a discount code also for just anything on iPower Resale, where you can save a little bit of money on a purchase on iPower Resale, and it supports my channel, so I appreciate your support. I appreciate iPower Resale sending over the M2 Ultra Mac Studio. I think it's an awesome computer. I would love to keep it, so I gotta think about that. Please subscribe to my channel, give me that thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next Mac Sound Solutions video. Beelink A unit winner announcement. And the winner is Mark Coral 7183. Congratulations! And I hope you enjoy your Beelink A unit. Please get in touch with me. I left a comment under your original comment. You need to send a screenshot showing that you are subscribed to my channel and that you are subscribed to the Beelink channel. And if I don't hear from you by Monday at midnight, I will be picking another winner. Don't forget to reach out before Monday night at midnight. Just send me an email with the screenshots and your mailing address so we can ship out the unit.